Okay. All right. How are we? Facebook, probably cut something off with YouTube, but it's fine. Right. That's right. We'll goof off somewhere else. All right. There it is. What do we got? I woke up in kind of just a really chill mood. So I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know what's going to happen this morning. I will be here next weekend, but I won't be here the following. I won't be live the following. So plan accordingly. Save your favorite video and do that instead. Whatever it is you have to do there. Yeah. So always, right, especially since you're home, go where your body tells you to go, right? So if I'm doing something and there's a similar pose and you want to take that variation today, feel free. Any day, feel free. If there's something you want to make more intense, make it more intense. If you need it to be less intense, back off. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. No one's watching, no one's going to tell. So it's your practice, which is the beautiful thing about yoga. So let's go ahead and start standing if you're not already. Bring your feet underneath your hip bones. So about a hand width between your feet, roughly. Toes point forward. Go ahead and spread those toes nice and wide. Lift them up off the mat even. And feel as if you could spread your foot wider. That in the shoe store are great on the yoga mat. And then relax your toes. Keep that sensation of the four corners of your feet pressing down into the floor. And that lights up your legs, yeah? A little tuck of the tailbone. Lengthening the lower back. Nothing crazy, not over-exaggerated, right? Just a gentle little tuck. And then imagine lifting the pelvic floor, the lower belly's in and up. That movement supports that tuck of the tailbone feel. Tall through your sides, like you're getting measured in school. Not tolerated. Relax your shoulders and check in that your middle finger kind of lines up with the outside seam of your pants, if you have an outside seam of your pants. And then imagine taking the bottom tips of your ears back and just feel when your neck kind of goes, yeah, that's the spot. Closing your eyes, just take a moment to physically be here. Check in with your body. Notice if there's areas that maybe need a little extra love or want a little extra stretch. Just keep that in mind as we move through the practice this morning. Bringing that observation to the breath. You want to breathe out through the nose. So if you're huffing and puffing out your mouth, you're working too hard. You just gradually let that breath expand. So the inhales get a little bigger, and the exhales get a little bit more complete. Finding that place that is just beyond comfortable. And the idea is to keep the breath doing what it's doing no matter what the body is doing or isn't doing. And with the next inhale, we're going to take the arms and extend them up toward the ceiling. Take the entire time it takes to get the lungs full. And then exhale, bring them back down. We'll do that again. One more time. to the top. When you get there, interlace your fingers. Exhale, gently tip yourself over to the right. And then inhale, come on back to the middle. Exhaling over to the left. So side to side with your breath. And as we're stretching out the sides of the body, really try and stay nice and stable in the feet, in the legs, in the hips. Take it once more on each side. When you're back to center, release the arms. Bringing the hands to the thighs. All right, so you can lean if you need the support, otherwise they just kind of hang out there for now. We're gonna come over into a half fold. So roughly parallel to the floor. If that is your full fold, obviously not quite that far, right? And then bend into the knees enough that you can rest your forearms on your thighs rather than your hands. You could keep your hands, it's not a big deal. But we're gonna take that left arm and sweep it up to the ceiling. And let the body lean and really open up. Come on back to the middle and switch. And then release it. Take the legs straight. And then work with your breath here. So inhale where you are. And as you exhale, see if you can dip into that fold a little deeper. Inhale, come into this halfway place again. Your starting point, whatever that is. Exhale yourself a little deeper yet. So a little movement, doesn't have to be big, but each exhalation, see if you can get in there a little deeper. Take your time. If it took you 2 breaths to find your full fold, then fine. If it takes you 4 or 5, that's fine too. Just gently moving in and out, leaning on the legs as much as you need to lean. When you do find that full fold, just hold it. And the hands can stay up on the thighs or they can move down toward your shins. Just work to keep the spine in a neutral position. Right? So if your hands reach for the floor and your upper back rounds or your knees bend, then don't reach for the floor. Maybe it's the shins. If you've got super duper long hamstrings, like me, you can take your palms flat to the floor without losing the neutral spine, right? And if that's super easy, then you work to get your fingertips in line with the tips of your toes with your palms flat to the floor, right? And maybe it's there, maybe it's not, maybe it's somewhere in the middle, right? Obviously. From here, we're just gonna work our way into an all fours position. So hands and knees. Ideally, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. If you need a little forward for your wrists or your shoulders, just listen to your body, of course. Cushion if you need a little cushion, but not too much. Think about the 4 corners of your hands like we talked about the 4 corners of our feet, nice and even. And then just some cat-cows, inhaling the belly toward the floor. And then exhaling the spine toward the ceiling. Connect it to the breath. Take a few flows like that. Let's go once more in each direction. And then find the middle. Instead of being in this tabletop, go ahead and move into a kneeling plank. So hands forward or knees back, whatever. Bring the body in this nice long line from the crown of your head to your knees. And if you needed to be in a full plank right now, you're absolutely welcome to be there. Think about the four corners of your hands, the engagement of the belly. From here, taking the left foot over to the left side. Right? So keeping that knee on the floor. Right toes toward the back of the mat, so you're in this nice long line from the crown of your head to this right foot. Okay? And this right arm can reach up or over or whatever fancy thing you'd like. So half a side plank. And then back to center. And switch. So that right foot kind of rotates over to the right side of your mat, left foot to the back of your mat. Okay. Just an easy side plank. And then release that. So from here, bending the elbows into the sides here. So hugging into your ribcage with your elbows. Come halfway and then press back up. Yeah. Halfway again, but all the way down. And ideally everything hits the floor together, but sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't so much. Right? Ideally, yes. Hands are going to end up next to your side ribs. Maybe they did. Maybe you pull them back a little bit. Hugging the elbows in just like we did on the way down. Keeping the toenails on the floor. Tuck the tailbone toward the floor so that your lower back is happy. And then just begin to roll into your shoulders. Up by your ears, together on your back, down toward your hip bones, and release. Inhaling as you lift up. And exhaling as you roll back down. Making this about your upper back and shoulders. Try not to engage your arms other than hugging those elbows in. Roll into the shoulders one more time. And then just release. Adding on to that or not. Remember, it's always your choice. Keeping what we have set up here, we're going to roll the shoulders up, but we're going to hold this one. And see about taking your hands up off the floor. So again, it is not about your hands here. Try to let your upper belly be soft so you can breathe. And then go ahead and release that. We want to keep the back that active, right? Working that hard. And then we're going to add the assistance of the arms, right? Rather than just being all about the arms. So adding on to what we have. Toenails are down, tailbone is tucked, elbows are in, rolling into those shoulders, keeping the back working that hard. Use your hands to pull like you're going to pull your belly button forward. Feel your triceps. And then release that. One more thing to add on, or not. So adding on, have everything exactly as we had it. Roll into the shoulders, pull with the hands, keep the pull idea, keep the back working like it is, and start to press into the hands so you lift a little higher. You can take your arms straight, but keep a gentle little bend, because if you just lock out your elbows, you're really relying on your arms instead of your back. And we want the back working just as hard as it was, remember? Go ahead and release it. And every time you move into a cobra or an up dog. Think about those pieces of the pose. A lot of times we get here and we just press into the hands and we're up, right? Well, my back's not doing hardly anything right now, right? So take your time with it, even when they move a little fast sometimes. So from here, toenails on the floor, tail on top toward the floor. Imagine lifting your belly button off the floor. It doesn't actually have to come up. Just keep that energy there. We want to keep the head, head, shoulders, chest, and belly moving in as one unit. My mouth isn't working so great this morning, right? So sometimes we lift the chest first and then we come up, right? But try to move all together. So pressing into the knees, pull the belly button in, push up away from the floor, back to that kneeling plank, and all the way back into a child's pose. So make yourself comfortable in this first child's pose, not always. You can open your knees. You can use a pillow or a bolster underneath your belly. Rest your head on a block instead of the floor. Taking the arms, stretch them as far away from your body as you can. And imagine sitting your hips back, but stretching your fingers forward. And feel that great big stretch all the way up your arms, maybe down the sides of your back. Come up on your finger pads. Inch those fingers a tiny bit forward. And then ground the four corners of the hands again, pressing down into the floor. From there, lifting the hips, making your way to your first down dog. And as you wiggle and kind of stretch into down dog, feet are hip bone distance apart. Hands are pretty much in the same place that they just were. But instead of that reaching away, you kind of got to push away to find that length, right? Keep that. From down dog, let's step the right foot forward and come into a lunge. So we're going to start with the left knee on the floor. You don't have to, of course, right? Right ankle over right knee. Take the right leg straight. Or straight-ish. Thinking about your spine, just like we did in that very first fold. Shoulders are back, the belly's in, head's in line with the spine. And then bend back into the knee. If you find that the knee down is bothersome for your knee, but lifting it away from the floor doesn't work, cushion it, take a pillow or something underneath. Yeah. Imagine pulling your legs toward each other to keep the hips square. Bring your right hand to the hip and rotate around into a little twist here. Release the twist. Take your legs straight again. And see if you can find just a little extra stretch. So maybe flex your foot back this time. And then bend back into the knee. Keep the hips low and climb up on the thigh. Right, so you can remain here if that's you. We're going to see about taking that twist a little bit deeper though. So bring the left hand to the outside of your right knee and the right hand to the hip. And you're going to kind of pull against the knee, keep it pointing forward, to rotate around a little deeper into the twist. If you're ready for it and it sounds like fun, this left elbow can move to the outside of the knee. And then release. Lifting the back knee, step back into down dog. Switching sides, bring the left foot forward. Dropping the back knee or not, again, your choice. You saw where we were going, so you know. Knee and ankle alignment here. Sweeping the legs toward each other. Left leg straight, fish. And just working a little bit deeper into the hamstrings. Bending into the knee. Keep it simple. Right? Pulling the legs toward each other, left hand to the hip, rotating around. And then releasing that. Taking the leg straight again. Adding something on that makes it a little bit more challenging. And then bend back into the knee. Keeping that stability in the lower body. You decide, you can keep it low key, right? Simple. Or climb on up and keep it simple here. Add taking the right hand to the outside of the knee, left hand to the hip. Or taking the elbow to the outside of the knee. Rotating around a little bit deeper. And then release it. Making your way back to down dog again. Let's lift the right leg. Open the hip, pointing the toes at the ceiling. Try to work to keep the shoulders square to the floor. Bending at the knee. Press the chest back, sink into that left heel. And then release that. Switching sides, lift the left. Opening the hip, but now the shoulders. Bending the knee. And then releasing that side. Let's go ahead and step forward back into our standing fold. And in this fold here, we're going to take the feet together, which means only one thing. So the feet are together. Try to keep them nice and wide because it does get a little wobbly here. Squeeze your legs toward each other, again, adding in for that stability. And then bend into your knees and come up into this chair position, right? If you feel like your butt's sticking out, tuck your tailbone under just a little bit, keeping that lower belly active. Here, we're going to take maybe just the left hand, or sorry, the right hand to the outside of the left knee, or maybe the right elbow again. Pressing into it, whether it's with the hand or the elbow, so you can open up into a bigger twist. Okay? And if you feel wobbly, hug in, press down into those nice wide feet. Release that side. Back to your fold. And then we're going to do the same thing on the second side. So get active, hug in together, bend into the knee, and then decide whether you want the left hand at the outside of the knee or the left elbow. Keeping your lower body nice and stable as you take this twist. And then release it. Back to your fold. Opening the feet out into that normal hip bone distance.
and take a bend into the knee here, just a gentle little one. And with an inhale, go ahead and tuck your tailbone and roll up through your spine, coming all the way up to standing. And then standing tall again. So let's take a little bit of a back bend here. Feet are where they are, so pressing down nice and active. That gentle little tuck of the tailbone. Hands maybe supporting the lower back on either side. Interlaced behind your lower back. Or of course you can take cactus or arms extended. You decide. It's early, so you know. But everything else is exactly the same. The shoulder blades pull toward each other on the back, and we imagine lifting the chest up toward the ceiling. So you're creating some length that you can move into this little back bend. Keeping the head in line, we don't want to let it flop back. Hips over ankles. Take another nice big breath. With an inhale, gently make your way back up. Standing tall. Taking the hands to support on the legs. Again, lean as much as you need to lean and gently begin to come forward. All the way over into your fold. So we're going to bring ourselves back up into that chair position. Hands on the thighs, upper body parallel to the floor, bending into the knees. Hang on if you like. Come center if that's you. Extend the arms. Listen to your body. And then instead of being on the four corners of your feet, go ahead and come up on your toes and balance. Stay on your toes if you can. And inhale, stretch all the way up to the ceiling. Releasing your heels and your arms. Go ahead and take a nice big step back with the left foot. And we're going to straddle. So toes point forward here. Have your feet as wide or narrow as is comfortable. You can always support with your hands on your thighs if you need, maybe on the hips. Hug the elbows toward each other back there so the shoulders stay back. And come on into that half fold again. So roughly halfway down, check in, take your time. If, again, you need the support of your hands, use it. And eventually come on over into whatever your full fold is. And as long as your shoulders can stay back, the fingers can move toward the floor. If you need to bend your knees to find them, go ahead. We're going to take the index and middle fingers and wrap them around the big toes. Keep the four corners of the feet on the floor. Again, if the legs can be straight, they are. Elbows are out to the side so the shoulders stay back. And then imagine pulling against your toes. Imagine dragging your belly button between your thighs, between your legs. Release the toes. Take the fingers to the lower back and interlace. Shoulders pull toward each other, knuckles stretch away. If the hands lift up off the lower back, let them. But don't make that the goal. The goal is more to stretch the knuckles away from your ears. Take another big breath here. And then release the hands. Instead of having your toes point forward, turn them out to the sides a little bit. And then with the breath here, on an exhale, go ahead and bend your right knee. Shift over to the right there. Inhale, come on back to the middle. And exhale over to the left. So you're gonna move side to side like that. Lean on your hands for support if you need to. As you bend, we wanna make sure that the knee is over the ankle. So if you have to open your feet or turn your toes in or out, make that happen. And you can always flip the toes up toward the ceiling on the straight leg. Open your feet a little wider, bring them a little closer. Lean more or less into your hands. Listening to your body. Snap, crackle, pop. So we're gonna go once more on each side. And I'm gonna find that middle again. So back to center here. Hands supporting if you need, otherwise up on the hips. Come halfway up and hold. Right in the middle. Finding that neutral spine. With the next inhale, come all the way up. All right? So from here, from this straddle, wider or more narrow, you decide. Right toes in a little bit, left toes flip to the back of the mat. We're gonna bend into the knee and find warrior two here. So knee and ankle aligned. Pelvis is level, the shoulders are level. Looking over the left fingertips. Let's take the right hand to the back of the thigh. Left palm turns up toward the ceiling, reaching up. Dropping the shoulder down. The left shoulder. Come back to warrior two. Bend into the forearm, rest it on the thigh, and bring your right arm over the ear. Sink into the hips, trying to stay open to the side of your mat. And then we're going to bring it back to warrior two. Take the legs straight, straddle, release your arms, and we'll go to the second time. So left toes in a little bit, right toes to the back, front actually, right? Bending into the right knee, check for your alignment, and then extend the arms. Left hand to the back of the thigh, right palm up, reaching up, sinking the right shoulder down. And then back to warrior two. Bring the right elbow rested on the thigh, left arm open over the ear. And then back to warrior two. Straighten the legs, release the arms. And step back to the top of your mat. All right, so we're gonna take standing balance next. If you wanna be near a wall, off your mat, near a chair or something you can grab in case. We're gonna work with big toe, and whether it involves your big toe or not, we're gonna twist it. So if I got big toe, maybe not today, right? Maybe a step back and then see if it goes where you think it's gonna go. So
Let's go ahead and take all the weight over into the right foot and just lift the left knee. It can be as simple as this, right? Maybe taking the right hand to the outside of the knee. That knee stays pointing forward. We pull against it a little bit to rotate around into the twist, right? Maybe you can take your hand down to the outside of your shin. Maybe you can grab your foot down there, the outside of your foot, and then take the leg straight. Maybe. So either way, you're on one foot and you have a little twist going on. We're going to gently release what we got and switch sides. So again, doesn't have to be big to be challenging. Lifting the right. Starting with the twist, right? So that is the thing, and where we go with the leg is extra. Maybe the outside of the calf. Maybe the outside of the foot. And maybe that leg is straight. And then we're going to release that side. All right. So back to the top of the mat if you did step away. Let's reach the arms up, give it a good stretch. And then take yourself over into a fold. And just let yourself hang. So bend into the knees, grab opposite elbow, let your head hang, and just release it all. Like wiggle around a little bit, maybe bicycle your heels. From there, release it, and let's go ahead and step back into all fours, down to child's pose. Let's come into our all fours position again. One more big funky twist, adding in some balance. So taking the right hand palm up, we're going to weave it between the left hand and knee, and maybe just drop down to the elbow, right? So we want the elbow in the middle of the mat. Maybe you can reach over some more and bring the shoulder to the floor. So you don't want to lean on your head, you want to lean on your shoulder. Yeah. And so this is a little twist already. You can press into the right hand, right arm, and left hand to open up your twist, kind of like we use the leverage against the outside of the leg. Same idea. But maybe we step those left toes back and lift them away from the floor. Maybe we lift the left hand. Bend the knee and find the foot. And try not to roll over. Or snip. Gently release whatever you got and make your way back to all fours. All right, so you know second side, you gotta do them both. Take the left hand, palm up, leave it under. Whether you stay up on the elbow or you drop up down to the shoulder, entirely up to you. And then move in pieces. Maybe you just enjoy using the floor to make the twist deeper. And if you're doing that, really press both knees into the floor evenly. If you're adding in the balance piece of it, go ahead and set the toes back. And maybe you lift the hand first. Sometimes that works better. Whether you find your foot or not. Right?
So lots of pieces, and you put them together the way they're supposed to be for you. Let's gently release it all. Come back into that all fours. And then go ahead and sit back into your child pose again. From here, come to sit up on your heels. And if this is not accessible in any way, shape, or form, just come down to your bottom. If you need to, sit on a block. Or if you prefer to open your feet and knees and sit between your feet, feel free. Or a little cushion, whatever you need. We want to keep the pelvis upright. It's just a little easier here, usually, than sitting on the floor. So let's go ahead and take the right arm out to the side, and then keeping that arm basically shoulder level, right? Bring it straight across your chest. Sometimes it creeps up by your ear, put it back down. And then using just a little bit of a pull with the left hand. Do you want to know what that is? We're going to release that side, and then switch, bringing the left arm across. Gentle little stretch here. And then release that side, roll your shoulders around a little bit. And we're just going to come just sit on your bottom. Extending the legs out. Making sure you feel upright on your pelvis. Again, that's tricky sometimes if your hamstrings don't cooperate. Feet flexed, toes pointing up at the ceiling. Sitting extra tall, let's reach the arms up. And really come forward into a fold. Letting your hands fall wherever. Thinking about your shoulders. The alignment of your spine. And then hinging back up. Take your right foot and cross it over your left. That foot is flat to the floor. If it can't be flat to the floor, you can always have it on the inside. It's not a big deal. If it needs to be down by your ankle, it is. If it's up by your hip, wherever. So if your foot is on the inside or down toward your ankle, the next piece doesn't make any sense. But if it's not, bend your left knee and think bringing it in front of your right sit bone. Okay. Sitting even on the pelvis, tall through your spine, maybe. Just the left hand to the outside of the knee, right hand behind the back, and again, that little pull around. Maybe. The elbow. See, it's more the top of the thigh than the top. In front of the knee? I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea, right? And you're using the leverage here. Release your twist, but not your legs. If you're somewhere near this configuration, right? If your leg is out straight, bring it in a little bit. Yeah. Ideally, we're going for taking the shins parallel to the top edge of the mat. Having the knees stacked and the feet extending to the outside edges. So wiggle into whatever that looks like for you. Again, the direction, I'm gonna say the goal because whatever, right? But the direction you want to move is to have your shins as parallel to the top edge as they can get, with your knees as stacked as they can get, and have your pelvis on the floor. So maybe that looks very different from where I am. It looks different from where the little picture in the book is. Right? But that's the goal. And then from here, just something kind of fun. Yeah. Rock yourself forward, or push yourself forward, that's fine, right? And come up on the knee here, tuck your toes under, and lift your knees away from the floor. From there, start walking your hands to the left. And you're walking to the left, around toward the back of your mat to the left, keep going to the left, keep your toes on the floor, kind of pivoting around. And eventually you're back to the front of the mat to the left, yes? The knees come to the floor, and we sit back. And then you're kind of on the second side. So you may have to adjust a little bit. Just kind of goofy. It doesn't matter. If it didn't work out, find your second side. Okay. And sometimes we're afraid to look silly in front of other people, but no one's watching. No one's watching you. It's fine. So wherever your second side is, finding that, sitting tall, relaxing into your legs as much as they will allow you to. And then we're going to turn this into that twist again. So whether this right leg needs to move out again, forward, right? Whether it can come back more toward the hip, this left foot is going to go flat to the floor. Your right hand can be on the outside of the knee with the left hand behind the back. Or the right elbow. And then let's release all that. Unhook your legs. Take them straight out again, wiggle them around a little bit. Flat to the floor. Hang on to your hamstrings. Make sure you're someplace where you can roll back. And then C-curve through your spine and roll on down. Hugging the knees into the chest, rocking a little bit. Just a little bit for the abdominals this morning, right? We want to bring the knees right over the hips and then the shins parallel to the floor. So you should already feel that lower belly working. Okay? That's where we want to target. Let the arms do whatever for right now. With the breath, keep that 90-degree bend in the knee. Exhale and take your right heel toward the floor. Maybe just touch. And then inhale, come on back. So slow and controlled with your breath, exhaling down and inhaling up. Take a few like that. Side to side, slow and controlled. Once more on each side. And then hug it in, knees into the chest. And adding on to that, or not, remember you can leave it just about the lower body, no big deal. Big whoop. Bringing the knees over the hips again, the shins parallel to the floor. The arms this time are going to stretch toward the ceiling, not overhead to the ceiling. Keeping the shoulders on the floor, we move across the body. So as the right heel moves toward the floor, the left thumb is coming to the floor over your head. And then inhaling back up to the middle. Exhaling the left heel and the right thumb. And then back to the middle. Take your time so that your brain can figure out what to do, right? A lot of times we want to move fast, and then the stationary arm and leg are flying all over the place. Go one more time on each side. When you're back to center, hug in. Rock. Take the feet flat to the floor. Let the soles of the feet come together and just let your knees relax. Release that lower belly. Cross your hips. And then draw the knees back together. One more time. Hug them into the chest. Actually, lie. Not one more time. Second to last. So the knees are into the chest. The arms are open into a T. Let your knees fall over to the right. If you want to get all fancy with your final twist, feel free. But we've done a lot of that, so maybe not this time, right? Just relax. Come on back to center. And then take them left. Same idea. If you feel like you need to do something fancy, but maybe you don't. And then back to the middle again. This is the last time those knees are into the chest. We're going to squeeze them in extra tight. Squeeze the forehead toward your knees and give yourself a hug. Release it out into a full body stretch. And then release the stretch. Take the hands down by the sides. And find whatever Shavasana is going to look like. So maybe you're fully extended or feet flat, soles of the feet together like we were before. If you have a wall accessible, maybe legs up the wall. Finding comfort and alignment. Releasing the breath and keeping the mind quiet. Give yourself just a few minutes here to simply rest. Remember, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. And if you're ready, keeping your eyes closed and your mind quiet, gently restore movement to your body. And slowly make your way back up to seated. Sitting well, bringing the palms to touch, bowing to the light within. Namaste. Yay. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy your long weekend if you have a long weekend, and remembering why we have a long weekend. So, I'll see you next week, and then not the following. Remember, if you have suggestions, comments, constructive criticism, I'll take it, and I will see you then.